and welcome to my channel. Today, I'm here with a brand new series called Conversations with an Expert. Today, I'm going to be welcoming Dr. Sham Chaurasia in my very first show. He's a scientist and works at City of Hope National Medical Center, California. Hello, Dr. Chaurasia.
Hi, Rashi. Good to be with you.
Good to meet you too. So let's start with the first question. Can you tell us a little bit about your research?
Uh, I am a virologist. I work at City of Hope, as you mentioned. And I'm not sure if you know about viruses, so I'll give a brief introduction about viruses. Viruses are tiny living beings. They are much smaller than bacteria. And in nature, we have tens of thousands of viruses, but not all of them are pathogenic. So pathogenic means the one that cause disease. So most of the viruses, they don't cause disease, but some of them are uh, disease-causing viruses, and they can make us very sick. One of them is COVID-19. And so for my research, what we do is we take these viruses and modify them. We engineer these viruses and make them, turn them into, from bad guy to good guy. We turn them into cancer-killing machine. And then we hope to use these viruses to cure cancer. So that is what we are currently doing at City of Hope.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for answering that question. How does COVID-19 make us sick or kill us?
So COVID-19 is a strain of coronavirus, and what this virus does is it mostly affect our pulmonary system, which is the respiratory system. So it enters mostly through our nose and also through our eyes. And once it reaches to our lungs, it infects the lung cells and it damages those cells. And those cells in our lungs are very important for our respiration. And so once it damages lung cells, it destroys our respiratory system. And it also, so it does not only destroy our respiratory system, it also affects other systems as well. Like it affects our circulatory system, it causes blood clots and affect our heart. And so in total, it can lead to multiple organ failures and may lead to a death of a person.
Ooh, that's very interesting. So, thank you for answering that question. So, is this virus the most dangerous virus?
The short answer is no. There have been viruses, there are other viruses which are much more lethal, which means they are much more severe in terms of disease than this virus. So this virus it causes extreme sickness in some people, but most people, but in most people, the symptoms are mild. The thing that makes this virus dangerous is the way it spreads. It is very easy to spread from one person to another because it spreads through droplets. So when an infected person sneezes or coughs, or even when he is talking, uh, droplets can come out of his or her mouth, and those droplets can be inhaled by people surrounding that person and can cause the other people sick. So it spreads very easily and very rapidly. That makes this virus more dangerous. Otherwise, just in terms of sickness, the level of sickness caused by this virus is milder than other viruses such as Ebola virus. I don't know if you remember, but a few years ago there was an Ebola outbreak. That virus was much more lethal than this virus. But the good news about the Ebola virus was that the transmission, like spread of the virus, was more difficult than it is for COVID-19. So that is why that virus did not cause as many deaths as coronavirus is causing.
And I'm glad you told me because I always wanted to know if it was. So thank you a lot.
Yeah.
So the next question is, what makes it hard to find the cure?
For this virus in particular, well, not only for this virus, for any virus or for any disease, finding the cure is a time-consuming process. Uh, the cure for any disease starts with basic research in laboratory, where you study thousands of agents as a medicine for a specific disease, and then you narrow down to hundreds, and then you test those 100 potential drugs in animal model, and you find a few, you end up with a dozens, which you then move to clinical trials, and then you test those drugs in different phases of trials, starting with phase one, which is testing the safety of a drug. So you first test whether a drug is safe or not. That takes time. Once you find that your potential drug is safe, you move to the next level of clinical trial, which is phase two trial. There you test the drug in a little larger population, where again you look for the safety and some efficacy of the drug, whether this drug is effective in treating the disease or not. And once you complete your phase two trial, then you move to the next level, the third or last trial, which is the phase three trial, where you will test the drug in thousands of patients. And once you confirm that this drug works well against the disease, then the drug is approved for the treatment of the disease. So going through all these phases, it takes years of time. So it's the time, because COVID-19 spreads so rapidly among people. We don't have enough time. We are racing against time to find a cure. So it's the time-consuming part that is making it difficult. Otherwise, this virus is no exception than other virus. It's the same. Finding a cure for this virus is the same as finding a cure for other viruses. But because we want to find a cure as soon as possible because of this pandemic, it seems as if it is more difficult than for other viruses. But in reality, it is the same, and we'll have a cure soon, hopefully.
Whoa, that's really challenging. I hope they find the cure soon.
Fingers crossed.
Can we expect the vaccine for COVID-19 a little sooner?
We hope that the vaccine comes sooner than later. And the good news is now we have 8 vaccines, candidate vaccines, which are in phase 3 clinical trials. So this is you can say the last stage. If we see a good efficacy of the vaccines in this stage, then we are going to have approved vaccines for the treatment of for injections in human. So it is thought that this vaccine, at least a few of these 8 are going to get approval soon, and by the end of this year, we will have an approved vaccine, and hopefully they will start injecting in people starting early next year.
Whoa, let's hope we get it sooner. For the next question, I would ask, do you suggest anything for kids like us?
Well, for kids like you, I would suggest that well, there are a lot of rumors that kids are not prone to this virus. But I would suggest kids to take proper precautions because there are lots of like within last 2 weeks, there were more than 90,000 kids who got infected with COVID in US alone. So that's a lot of kids. One kid getting infection is too many, and we are talking about 90,000 cases. So I would say kids to take proper precaution and not to listen to rumors. If you have any question, you feel like you're not sure whether you are getting the right information or not, you can always go onto CDC's website, CDC, which is Center for Disease Control. They have all the informations about COVID on their website. And the most basic precautions kids could take, or like everybody, not just kids, everybody can take is wash your hands regularly for at least 20 seconds with soap and water. And always wear a face mask when you're going out of your home, and try to maintain social distances. Try to avoid going to crowded places like beach. And yeah, and this is it. If you are taking all the precautions, it is very unlikely that you will get the virus. Yeah, so I hope all the kids there will follow the precautions put forth from CDC.
Well, that's a lot of kids. I'm gonna wash my hands as many times as possible.
Yes,
Thank
everybody
you
should
very
do.
much. Lastly, is there anything that I forgot to ask but you would love to answer?
Um, well, I would suggest people, well, all the kids to hear from their parents, listen to their parents, and also use their own, give some time to know about these disease. If you can, go on internet and look at CDC's guidelines, you will get to know a lot about these stages. So and then you on your own you will be able to separate the facts from fiction and fear from facts. So the disease is because of some misinformation, uh, people have people have very different opinion about this virus. It's good to have different opinions, but you have to be able to separate the facts from fears. So I would suggest all the kids to do their own homework, go to CDC's website and do some readings. Yeah.
Okay, that was really nice of you to tell me. I love the facts. I will definitely check out CDC. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. It was really nice of you.
Thank you for having me. It was pleasure. Yeah, thank you for having me. It was pleasure talking to you.